Today I'm going over a formation I found in the Cleveland Browns Playbook, pistol tight Y off flex. And the first play I'll go over is cheat tight end double pass. And here's a quick look at it against cover 4 drop. So how this play works is your tight end, he'll go in motion, and then your quarterback, he'll auto pass to him, and you'll just hit that Y receiver deep for an easy one play touchdown. Works against any zone defense, doesn't work quite as well against man. And why he gets so open against zone defense is as soon as the quarterback throws the ball, you can see all those zone defenders, they just crash down after the run. And then they try and recover, but it's just way too late to pick up that deep receiver. When I'm playing as the Browns, I like to sub in Harold Fannin. He has 77 throw power, which is crazy for a tight end, but you can put in any tight end, halfback, or offensive tackle in that position. I think fullback too. You just want to use one that has at least decent throw power. So you can stop that deep route if you pass commit on defense, and we'll take a look at what it looks like when they pass commit. You can see the zone guys stay back, but then you can just run it straight up the field. And a lot of times you can get some good yards just running with your tight end there. Another thing you can do if they pass commit, you can just audible to a run play. And when the defense is pass committed against a run play, usually you can get some decent yards, and a lot of times you can actually get a one play touchdown when you run against someone who's pass committed. Another way you can stop this play is out of man defense. And man defense works pretty well against it because the defender, he'll go after pretty quickly. He'll go after the tight end, so you got to throw up pretty quick. But this out route, that B receiver against man, he usually gets open. And if they shade to the outside, then that crosser, a lot of times he'll get open against man defense. It's a fun trick play, but you're not going to want to run it all the time. So once I figure out how to defend that double pass, I like to switch to something like this PA cheat post comeback. And this play is really good against zone defense. You can run against man too, but I'll show you this against cover 3. And against cover 3, I like to put my X receiver on a corner, streak Y, streak A, slot fade B. And then you can do pretty much anything with your running back. You can block him. You can put him on an out route. You can put him on a curl route. Got my little out route here, and we'll take a look at what this play looks like against cover 3. All you got to do is pass lead Y, deep to the outside there. Overthrow him because the Browns have a terrible quarterback. And on this play, all you got to do, pass lead Y, deep to the left. A lot of times you can get an easy one play touchdown there. You could also do something like just put Y on a streak there. And then you have the same look as your double pass here. So they might try and use her over there. And then you'll just hit this B receiver deep to the outside. Overthrow him again. Let's try that again. You'll just want to hit this B receiver here deep to the outside for an easy one play touchdown. Now against Tampa 2, what I like to do is I'll put X on a slot fade, Y on a streak, and then with B, you can do a deep cross, you can do a drag, or you can do a streak if you want to make sure to keep that safety over to the right. I like to do a deep cross. I'll also sometimes put my running back on an angle route. Your read is going to be X or Y depending on where that safety goes. If he goes to the outside, you can hit that Y receiver deep down the middle, or you can hit B on the deep cross. You can see that Y receiver there. If you lead it deep middle, a lot of times you can hit him for a one play touchdown. They run a lot of cover 4 quarters on you. I like to put A on a corner route, motion him over, Y on a slot fade, and then X on a streak. You can put B in a drag, an in route. You can put him on a return route. Doesn't matter too much. But the main thing you're going to want to look at is that X receiver on the outside. If that safety breaks down, you can just pass lead over the top, and you can get a one play touchdown against cover 4 quarters. Reason that worked so well is it's the right side safety that ends up picking up the X receiver. So he has to come all the way across the field. So if he does get over a little quicker, you can still pass lead it to the left and get a one play touchdown with that. They run cover 0 or cover 1 man defense on you. I like to do something like put X on a corner route, put A on a drag route, and then B on a dig route. And that gives you kind of a mesh concept. And usually one of them will get open. You'll just take a look at the user and just throw to the other guy. You could also do something like put A on a corner. I like putting the tight end on a corner route against cover 1 defense generally, because a lot of times against cover 1, they'll have a zone defender over the middle of the field. But if not, something like this usually works pretty well. See the A receiver, he gets wide open. A lot of times the defenders, they'll bump into each other and they'll just get crazy open on man defense. And then if they press, you could put one of your outside receivers on a streak. And since it's a tight formation, these streak routes do really well against press defense. So if they're pressed down on you, usually one of these streaks should get open. You can see B there, he gets over the top. A lot of times you can get a 1-play touchdown with that as well. And then once you get down to the red zone inside the 20-yard line or so, I like to switch to this RPO Read Flat Wheel. If they're in zone defense, something like you see a single high safety there, I like to put X on a streak and then stem down B, and either one of those should get open. I also like to motion over my tight end there. Reason I like to do that is it gives you a better idea if they're in man or zone, and also he gets to that flat a lot quicker, which helps a lot against man defense. But against zone defense here, you can see the B receiver and X receiver, they should both get open. See the X receiver there, just pass lead him down into the inside. You should be able to hit that. If not, you'll hit that B receiver right in the seam there. Should be able to get a touchdown there as well. Once you hit him with that a couple times, they'll probably pass commit. And you can just audible to this halfback zone weak. And you can give them that same look, motion over the tight end. They think you're going to either go to the flat or throw on the seam there. You got a run play here. They're pass committed. A lot of times you can get some easy yards and get into the end zone for an easy touchdown. And then if they're not playing hard flats, a lot of times you can just throw to the flat there. You can get a few yards there. Works a little better against man defense though. Against man defense, you'll see the defender, he'll motion over, and I like to stem down the B receiver there. And a lot of times against man, the defender, he'll get hung up a little bit. Doesn't there, but you can still get to the outside and you can get in to score. So what you'll see them doing a lot more is they might bring the defender to the outside a little bit so they don't get hung up through here. To get that flat, they might user it. And if they do that, you should be able to hit this B receiver for an easy touchdown right over the middle. Out of the Browns playbook, I've also been messing around with this strong close flex formation. It's got a really good stretch play. This fullback dives really good. You can sub in a halfback there, and a lot of times when they expect you to pass, you can get some good yards there, especially when they're pass committing. This PA sprint halfback flat, that's a really good play. This halfback slip screen, I've been using that a bit. Against man, I use this play drive. It has a really good stock drag route you can use. That's another good formation I came across. But that's it for pistol tight Y-off flex. I'll be doing a full breakdown of the Browns playbook soon, so keep an eye out for that. And thank you guys a ton for watching, and I'll see you next time.